All right, so I'll start things off. Washington, known for their pass defense, not their run defense. Do you think that's going to be a way that you guys can exploit them?
I always think we can run the ball on guys and pass the ball on guys, but I for sure would love to run the ball again and do what we did last Saturday.
What about the weather? The weather's supposed to be pretty crappy the next couple of weeks. How are you guys preparing for that?
We have a few things that we're doing to prepare for that, some wet stuff. But, I mean, we're not really worried about it. We have some guys that played up there before or lived up there. We're really not thinking about that too much, or shouldn't be.
What do you think, LaDarius, about the way that you guys responded after that? Just a couple bad games, and then coming back and playing full quarters.
I think that just goes to show our resiliency and that we do compete, despite we did play a bad half in those two previous games before that each, and that's not like us, not getting complacent and finishing games, finishing drives, finishing quarters, and just keeping the same competitive energy throughout the entire game. That's something that's on players, and I feel like that just showed us that that's who we are. That's who we need to continue to be for the rest of the season.
Was there a lot of talk in the locker room about what people were saying outside, fans, media, social media?
I mean, we see it. I think everybody sees it. I mean, everybody my age, I know, at least has social media. I mean, we do feel pretty disrespected by a lot of that stuff, and not everybody is raised the same or had the same coaching or role modeling growing up to where they know how to respond to things like that. If I read something like that, I'm like, okay, forget the guy who just says this, and we're going to continue to be who we are, because nothing matters but what's inside of this building. But for some other guys, they might read that and be like, this is what they think of me? And then, this is what they think of us? Oh, this is what's about to happen? Oh, we're screwed. That's not how we should look at it. But, I mean, it just goes to show that the people that really support us are in the locker room. You know what I mean?
What impressed you most about Rashad?
That didn't surprise any of us at all. That's who we knew who he is and who he was the entire season. He's an extremely special back, and I think the film always shows that. That game wasn't like a one hit lucky, none of that. Rashad is a very special player, and I think we that definitely broadcasted it right there.
What does Rashad mean to the team?
He means a lot to the team. I mean, he brings that explosive play factor that every team in the country wants, and it can always be a big run, always. And I think he showed that last year, and he continues to show that this year too.
First Pac-12 game that you guys did not give up a sack. That must have been a fun field position that way.
Oh yeah, we actually didn't have critical errors really this game, and I think anytime you can do that, you have a good chance to win this game. When you can avoid sacks, drops, penalties. That was a pretty clean game considering the ones we played previously.
Of all the penalties last week, not one was on the offense.
Yeah, I mean, no disrespect for our defense. They do their thing. I'm saying if we can continue to do that, I love that. As long as we don't go backwards, we have a chance. So.
Washington, sometimes they only have two down linemen. What do you think about just their front and what type of game it might be?
I think it'll be physical. I mean, we played physical teams before. We've always played some physical teams. I feel like USC is pretty physical, but they always have some big boys in the interior, the two gap, put their 330 pounds on you. But that's fine. Play with leverage. That's what we do.
How much of a conversation is it this week just about noise and being prepared to deal with a loud environment? Herm mentioned it yesterday.
I think that since the BYU game, we've tried to implement handling noise in every practice since then. So I think that game, I know it sucked, and I'm so hurt that we lost that, but we learned a lot from that game. Noise is just a part of our practices now. We never want to let that happen ever again. So I feel like we're pretty prepared for that.
There's been so many highs and lows this year. Just how would you describe the season to this point?
I think this season we for sure have aspirations, and start off the season especially with aspirations to win the whole thing, as every team should. And we've had our ups and downs, and we've handled a good deal of adversity. But I feel like I couldn't be more proud to play with those guys in the locker room, because the way we fight and bounce back from things and stick together through everything we've been through this year, because this year's been crazy. Like, we've had a couple crazy years. Last year's COVID. This year we have a ton of BS going on. So I feel like, I'm sorry, am I supposed to say that? I feel like it just goes to show our resiliency, and it's going to make us stronger for the rest of this year and next year.
Jaden kind of struggled passing the ball against USC. Are there things like as an O-line that you say to him, in between plays to maybe keep his confidence up?
No, I mean, I say he's one of my best friends, and I know him. He's pretty strong mentally, and he knows when he makes a mistake, just like I know when I make a mistake. I mean, I'm not a quarterback, so I can't be like, hey, why'd you do that? Because I don't know why he did that. So, I mean, if he makes a mistake, I'm pretty sure he's going to hear about it from Coach Hill or Coach Herm or Trenton or whoever. So I try to just let him do his thing on game day, because he's not like a get in the hole and stay in the hole type of guy.
Thank you.
Thanks.